Hey, welcome back to the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge, and I was very tempted just now that I should have just shaved everything and left the mustache. Just for this episode. Maybe I'll go do that anyway. Okay, let's try this again. Hey, that's much better. Well, probably not really, but I was hoping it would feel fluffier. My mustache has gotten thicker in the past. It wasn't ready for tonight. I literally just thought of this a few minutes ago. So as I started the first part of this video, anyway, tonight we have whenever you're watching this, this episode is all about Queen, Rock Montreal. This is a concert film, and it is, by the way, it's from 2024. How is that possible? Well, this is actually an upscaled 4K quality. It says it's a world record breaking. I don't know how it broke a record by upscaling it to 4K. It's cleaned up. It sounds incredible. It looks incredible. It's just a improving of the classic concert film shot, surprisingly, in Montreal, Canada, on November 24th and 25th, 1981. Yeah, this is a kind of a big deal show. They came back specifically to this venue. It holds only about 18,000 people, but it seems so much smaller. I'm used to seeing the Live Aid concert, just when they're performing there, that historic show a few years later. And this here, this is the way it's lit. The audience isn't very lit for the most part. They might be lit. I don't know, but there's a lot of it seems like there's only a few dozen rows, and it seems very tight. The lighting on these guys, for the most part, is ahead of its time for a concert of this era. It's got these overhanging walls of lights that tilt and move and play. It just, I care about that stuff. Maybe you don't, but I really like the production value in this for 1981. And yeah, this is, if you can tell that I'm a Queen fan. If you're wondering, as I wondered as I was watching this, are they going to have a song or two from the Flash Gordon soundtrack? No, not on the concert film you see here. By the way, there's two versions. It's in widescreen and in the standard 4:3 aspect ratio, which it was originally presented in. You can't get the widescreen version on Disney Plus that I know of. It is just the 4:3 aspect ratio on here. Sounds great, though. It doesn't diminish the sound. There is a double Blu-ray and CD and album release version that you can get on their official site and elsewhere, I'm sure. But there's a much bigger, fuller concert experience available for you if you get those, if you buy them. But on Disney Plus here, this is an hour and 35 minutes long of the concert. Again, it's cobbled together from 2 nights worth of performances and made into just a totally full show. It's got all the big hits you want, and I was surprised it even included Bohemian Rhapsody, which I've always wondered, as big of a fan as I am, I have the Live Aid show, and I have this. This is, by the way, I said this yesterday, this is the first record I ever bought as a kid with my own money. I was like, I want to buy a record. What am I going to buy? I'm going to buy the Flash Gordon soundtrack. You know that. It's 1, Queen, 2, Flash Gordon, one of the most awesome 80s movies. It's an 80s movie based on a 1930s era cartoon and comic strip serial. Yeah. There's a lot going on there. Anyway, Queen, it is still one of my all-time favorite albums, just because of just how crazy it is. And speaking of crazy, this concert is crazy. I've seen, I'm not exaggerating, thousands of concerts in my life. My loss of hearing exists to prove that. Man, I look like Lieutenant Dangle from Reno 911. Tom Lennon, eat your heart out. Anyway, I've seen lots of concerts in my life, and this, even though its age, it's 1981, considering how old it is relentless. This is a time when bands were playing rock and roll, and this is like minutes before synthesizers just overtook everything. To be honest, I mean, well, no, maybe it had already started. The new wave movement had already started. MTV had already launched a few months before this, but yeah, it's between John Deacon on bass and Roger Taylor on drums and Brian May's guitar. And then every once in a while, somebody jumping on the piano. This is relentless. Other than it doesn't slow down. There's one acoustic ballad that they just sort of sit down for a few minutes, but then they fly back into it. Going back to my thought where I easily get distracted, I always wondered how they were going to do Bohemian Rhapsody. I found out because it's a complex song. It's especially the whole operatic thing in the middle. How do you do that? Well, you step off stage and let the pre-recorded stuff play. Yeah, I know. That's a little disappointing, but anything around it is not. The build up to that moment, it's them. The coming back with the full band, after the whole a cappella part, it's astounding. This is honestly breathtaking, and it's them playing, except for that little tiny part in the middle of Bohemian Rhapsody. It's and let's not forget Freddie Mercury, of course. Freddie Mercury just needs his voice and some tight pants, and probably being shirtless helps, I guess. At one point, he changes from white jeans into white shorts. It's Freddie Mercury. And that's honestly all the man needs. Tight pants and that voice. And he's going to rock your face off. These guys, I mean, Brian, everybody gets a solo, by the way. This is the era when bands were talented enough to all do solos and not disappoint. Not go, thank you, bass player. Thank you. Oh, neat, relentless and unending drum solo. Drummer. Yep. You're like, guitar solo. Yeah, yeah, I get that. You rarely get a disappointing guitar solo. Rarely. And these guys, every single one of them just knocks it out of the park. They have their moment. It's an hour and 35 minutes long. But we get the meat. We get all the hits, everything from Under Pressure and We Will Rock You and We Are the Champions and, like I said, Bohemian Rhapsody. And by the way, how do you follow Bohemian Rhapsody, which was hugely popular and just people just going nuts for the theatrics of it? You follow it with Tie Your Mother Down. Of course, I shouldn't tell you everything that happens in this because it's the surprises, it's the turns of what is playing next. Just like being in a real concert, I almost felt bad playing it a little too loud tonight. Yes, I'm shooting this in the evening. I felt a little bad, but my neighbors often play music at 3 a.m. or 6 a.m. when I am sleeping. So I'm playing this within my home, speakers pointed at me, not the windows, so I don't feel so bad. I didn't play it super loud, but I imagine somebody heard it. Yeah. Yeah. If you're a Queen fan, I highly recommend this. This is the kind of thing you might want to put on in the background while you're just moving around your house, maybe doing some laundry or, just to clean it up and stuff like that. But you will forget about your laundry and all the cleaning because there's moments where it just sucked me in. I had to stop everything else I was doing. I was just like, I was preparing the Halloween stuff, getting that stuff ready for the next couple episodes. I'll tell you about that in a moment. But yeah, it's a very simple stage. It's just, there's no special costumes or theatrics. It's the kind of thing that a lot of bands that followed them wish they could do, and had the staying power and the vocal quality that Freddie does not lack. He does not slow down at any point. It's just, it's breathtaking at times to watch a band just plow through their hits, and some stuff that you may not know as well. But this is a great introduction to the band. It's not like, hey, look, we're one band amongst 100 others at Live Aid, or some other, or maybe a Rami Malek remake of their history in cinematic, motion picture kind of thing. No, this is them. This is actually them, and it looks better than it possibly should or could for when this was filmed. I mean, I think the original, they had high-end cameras. Saul Swimmer is the director. They had high-end cameras at the time. It's probably some of the best they could do. Some double anamorphic 35 millimeter. I don't know what it was, but they had tons of angles on it. You can see some of the cameramen every so often. So many different cuts between different angles. It's shot perfectly. This says it's a documentary. There is nothing about this as a documentary, except to document this moment in time that I was too young to go to Canada to see. Didn't know existed at the time. I was lucky if I knew what concerts were going on at that time in my life. In 1981, in my local area. So yeah, this is a must-have, a must-watch, and honestly, yeah, watch it on Disney Plus, and you're going to be super satisfied. It's tempted me to go hunt down the Blu-ray collection to get just the full thing. Yeah. Did I say when I mentioned the Flash Gordon stuff? I know I get on tangents, and I'm sorry, but the Flash Gordon stuff, there are 2 Flash Gordon songs that are from the concert, the theme and the hero, but they're audio only. They did not include them in the video filmed portion of it, I guess. I don't know why. So if you want to hear those songs performed live, that is the way to do it. If you get the CD set, either with or without the Blu-ray, I don't know if it's separate or if you can do it all together. I don't know. I didn't put thought into wearing a mustache for this, but hey, yeah. I did miss saying something. Freddie only needs the tight pants, the bare chest, the vocals, and the mustache. That's what I wanted to say. Yeah. The mustache. Yeah. Anyway, that's all I can really say about this. I can't recommend it enough. If you like good, just rock and roll, it's worth your time. So tomorrow is 13 days away from Halloween. Yeah. So I've decided, just like I do with Christmas, and I don't know if I'm going to have enough content next year to last me all the way through next Halloween, like a daily thing. I'll probably pick some stuff up occasionally, eventually, depending on how much new stuff gets added. So my 2025 is a mystery as to how many consecutive days I can go without a break, without watching everything, without having watched everything on Disney Plus. It happens next year, unless they add a lot more stuff. So I am going to tell you right now that I try to get as much Halloween themed stuff as possible into these next 13 days. There might be stuff that we'll miss, but I'm cranking it all out here. So, Halloween, horror, and everything else kind of themed stuff. The first thing we're going to start off with is very kid-centric, though. It's Mickey's Tale of Two Witches. So, yeah, it's just a little animated special from Disney Junior. So, we'll kick that off nice and easy and sweet. A nice contrast to this performance. Yeah, by the way, there is some language, but I didn't really catch it. It's distorted. It's the only thing that's not clear coming through beautifully on this. So if you're worried about kids hearing swears from Uncle Freddy, well, it could happen. I don't know. I just didn't notice them. It says there's crude language. Tomorrow, we're starting our Halloween marathon. The next 13 days of Halloween-themed content. Mickey's Tale of Two Witches on the next Disney Plus Everyday Challenge. I'll see you back here tomorrow with that.